You want to get paid, you do things like that.
Front door, oh no, do it big, jumbo, big rack, different tax, you baby ballin'.
You that cash pistol, bro. Let's get it, bro. Take something, 1, 2, 3,
There goes Daron Payne. Left up, he's hit again. Second sack of the game. This time it's Daron Payne.
And indeed, it is Daron Payne for the safety. And it's Daron Payne pumping it into the air.
Mouth be cold, but the flow high lava.
And of course, we begin this show with nothing other than the big man, Daron Payne, finally getting this deal done. Daron, congratulations.
Thank you.
When does this sink in? Because I don't know that we were really anticipating or expecting this to be the result when they tagged you.
I don't know. I was talking to my agent. He was like, "Has it sunk in yet?" I was like, "Nah. Maybe it'll sink in when I actually see it." So.
You know, when they tagged you, I think we kind of said, okay, this is just the circumstances that this offseason is going to have for you. Mm-hmm. How did the conversations and when those come about to say, no, wait a second, we're making sure that your future is right here and making you the second highest paid at your position?
I mean, the whole time, Coach Ron told me that they was going to get the job done for me and that they might have to tag me, but they still was going to do it. So I'm just happy that we was able to get it done quick, and now I can just think about football and go out there, train hard, and get ready to put on another good season.
I feel like it was kind of like the big elephant in the room all last season, especially as those sack numbers kind of kept adding up. Yeah. How much of this has been on your mind throughout last year?
I mean, last year I was really just focused on playing good ball, and everything just started playing into itself. So I just was like, you know, I might as well just have fun making plays, and it all just played out.
Coach said that you set the example, most certainly with your play, but also that you stuck to your word. What was your word?
I just told them, I know they didn't want to, I was kind of upset because they didn't want to do a contract and they didn't offer me. So I just told them that I'll show them why I deserve to be here, and that's what I did.
How much of that actually impacted what you did on the field then?
I mean, I just took it into the off season and used it as motivation to like train hard, and I know like when I'm playing, just play harder.
You first came in here 14 and a half sacks to start out, and then all of a sudden here you go this last year with 11 and a half, setting the record since what? Since Ryan Kerrigan did it back in 2018. Yeah. What and when did things really change for you when it comes to being able to kind of like up the game and get to the quarterback?
I mean, I think it really started in like that last bit of OTAs. Like, I don't know, I just felt like I was gonna have a good year. Like I was moving good, felt good. Then when we got to training camp, it was like, dang, I can do a whole bunch of things. So that's when it really started to take off.
You talk about finishing. So what was the difference in finishing?
Getting the quarterback to the ground and not running past them. Nah, my first couple of years, I always used to get back there, but I might whiff on the tackle, run past the quarterback. He might put a move on me. But this year, I was able to get him. Well, last year I was able to get him and just capitalize on all my good stuff.
Your coaches, Ryan Kerrigan joins the room. I'm quite familiar with him as his teammate. But then also Coach C, how much did they kind of help you this past year?
A whole bunch, man. I always just look to Coach Z. He always works with me every day to work on like different moves and different techniques. And then I always got, you know, Ryan, he's real quiet, so he might just be in the back of the room just smiling, looking at me like, yeah, you're doing your thing. Or he might just give me some tips on how to counter or do little different things. But it's just good having a vet like Ryan in the room.
11 and a half sacks. The expectation now that, of course, you do have this long-term deal is that, okay, how do you follow that up?
To try to do it again. Go back out here this offseason, train a little bit harder, come back in with the right mindset, and then and just try to go out there and make plays.
If I talk to some of the coaches around here and they tell me about your game, they say there's still another level to what you're capable of doing.
I hope so. I know. I definitely don't feel like I've hit my stride yet. I feel like I got room to grow, room to improve, and a lot of things that I can work on this offseason to become a better player. I feel like that's why I like playing in the NFL, because it's like you're not always done. You get another week to be better, and that's what I try to do every week, just be better than I was.
All right. I do not want to be a quarterback that's having to face you guys this upcoming season, knowing that especially the D-line is solidified for quite a few years, and especially you with John Allen going forward. How are we celebrating?
I haven't gotten that far yet. I feel like, I don't know, I'm going to find something to do. I might take my family on vacation somewhere. So.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one. Share it with the family. Congratulations. Well deserved. We're excited to keep you here in D.C. Thanks.
Thank you.
The contract extension was certainly deserved after the numbers Daron put up last season. The first-time Pro Bowler set new career highs in combined tackles, sacks, quarterback hits, and tackles for loss. His 11.5 sacks this year were tied with Dave Butts for the most by an interior defensive lineman in franchise history. Time for our mission debrief, brought to you by the Washington Times. And joining us now is Logan Paulsen and Santana Moss to talk about reactions to Daron being signed, which I think, as even Daron said, it came quickly. Yeah. He wasn't necessarily anticipating it happening this fast because we saw how long it took for them to go to Terry McLaurin, to John Allen. But here we are, Santana. What is your initial reaction?
You know, I saw and I say, someone said, pay that man. You know, honestly, you know, I was cool with seeing what he did last year and just saying that spoke for itself. You know, but also, you know, with the team and knowing what we had to give, you know, I would have been on both sides. If we couldn't afford him, let's try to lock him in. But we showed that we could afford him, and we wanted this guy to be one of those guys for us. And so we gave him the long-term extension and showed him that he was worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and I think it's smart that they did it now, right? Because there's a whole bunch of other big-time defensive tackles that are up this year. And so, like last year, one of the problems I ran into with Terry is they had all these receivers that signed big contracts. So the number for Terry just kept going up. They said, we're not going to make that same mistake this year. We're going to get them done now. Jeffrey Simmons, he's going to be the beneficiary of that. Dexter Lawrence, but good job by the team getting him signed. And Ron told us that he wanted to do this, so it's nice to see them get that done.
Yeah, I was talking with head coach Ron Rivera as they were waiting for him to come on in, and he said, yeah, he's like, this was it. This was basically the plan, and they wasted no time making sure they did lock him in. Now, many people question whether or not they could actually keep the interior together, because you did just pay John Allen, and it's not something that's typically done in the league. You see, though, how dynamic they can be together, especially when you have the guys on the outside. What is the expectation now for them going forward, Logan?
I mean, I think it's just like everybody that they've paid so far has continued to play better. You know, Terry's played better, John's played better, and my expectation is that Daron continues to play better. You know, he kind of came off of a lackluster 2021, awesome 2022. Can he build on that? Because if he can, this duo is going to be unstoppable.
And I don't see no reason for him not to build on it. I think one of the things about these guys now today, they understand that you can't be mediocre and expect to go out there and be, you know, solidified as one of the best. He showed last year I was a Pro Bowl player. I got paid like a Pro Bowler. Now I want to add to that. Sure. I saw what Allen did the year afterwards. I want to continue to be that Pro Bowl player and to continue to make sure that I'm worth even more, because you got to think about it. He's still young.
Yes,
you know,
that's
4
right.
years going to go by fast. So he's going to want another payday, and that's what everyone thinks about when they get that first payday.
He says he's got a lot of stuff he still wants to continue to build on, meaning he's not quite reached his full potential. Does this help maybe other position groups, and kind of mostly referring to like the linebacking unit behind him?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, like Ray Lewis kind of famously said when Tony Siragusa Adams left Baltimore that he needed more guys in front of him. These guys are playmakers, right? They can alleviate some of that pressure, especially in the run game with that middle linebacker, right? Daron Payne, 5 knockdown passes. John, same thing. Like, those guys are very, very helpful for that linebacker group, absolutely.
They've showed that even with not having that position, you know, being consistent or hitting on all cylinders throughout the whole year, that they can take up a lot of that, you know what I mean? So it's great to see that we have those interior guys that can basically, you know, help out and not have to go out there and get the big names, or be solid enough that say, hey, if we have a guy down or two, you know, we can always, you know, rest assured that those guys up front going to pick up the slack.
Absolutely.
All right, it's not just Daron that the team made a move with. There were some other commanders that they were taking action on as well, as they re-signed linebacker Khaleke Hudson to a 1-year extension. The former 2020 fifth-round draft pick has appeared in 41 games, primarily in special teams, recording 34 career tackles with 3 QB hits. And we are not done with Daron just yet. After the break, he joins Logan inside the film room to break down some of the plays that led to his big payday.
Second and 20 at the 41. Chubb to the left of Watson. 3 wide receivers to the right. David Njoku just standing up on the edge of the line. Pressure right up the middle, and they got him! Right up the middle! Good pressure there by Daron Payne. That is sack number 10.5 on the season. He is the first Washington defensive player to go double-digit sacks since Ryan Kerrigan back in 2018.
Now here's a look at the sack leaders from last season at the defensive tackle position. Of course, our guy Daron Payne tops the list with 11.5. He's the first Washington player to hit double digits in sacks since Ryan Kerrigan recorded 13 back in 2018. His 26 career sacks rank 5th most by a Washington player in their first 5 seasons. And while Daron now puts a lot of fear in opposing quarterbacks, he began his career in the league as more of a run stopper. And while we talk a lot about him getting into double digits for sacks this last season, he only had 14.5 through his first 4 years. So what is it that changed in his game, allowing to ultimately having him being paid the second highest at his position? Time to go inside the film room, presented by Amino. It pays to be healthy.
Daron, man, so excited for you. Signed a big contract. How's it feel?
Man, it feels great. I still don't know how to feel about it, but I'm gonna sleep on it a couple nights, and I'm sure it'll hit me.
Well, you said you're going to take the family on a vacation, maybe?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? Any ideas?
I don't know. I was thinking Costa Rica. I was looking at some.
Oh, that's nice, man. Get some sun, chill out. That'd be great. But let's talk a little bit ball, right?
Okay.
Because the reason you got paid is because of what you put on film last year, right?
Yep.
And so let's take a look at this. This is you right here, and I think you just did an excellent job. Not only rushing the passer, everyone remembers those 11 sacks, right?
Yeah.
But playing the run. And this is Zach Martin right here. He's one of the best interior offensive linemen in the NFL, and I just love what you're thinking here. Can you just walk us through this process? Because he's getting a down block, so a lot of people say, I'm going to sit down on that.
Yeah.
You kind of skate through that. What are you seeing?
Yeah, on when you get the guard pull and the offensive guard, the other offensive guard is coming towards you, you can either play back into that, or you can get vertical up the field.
Get vertical.
And right here, I just wanted to get vertical up the field and like ride his hip pocket and just try to get back into my gap, because I kind of got washed a little bit.
Yeah, but you're kind of playing off the center, and then I love what you're doing there. You got that inside hand up, and you kind of no pressure, and then just kind of leaning that inside shoulder.
Leaning and ripping, man.
Yeah, and then obviously, like, when you get tackles for loss, that's an outstanding thing for you, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so is it all penetration, or is there something else you're thinking about with that?
I really just wanted to penetrate right here and keep my feet going upfield. And when, like, once I rip my arm to the sky, I finally seen the running back.
Yeah, finally get in there. And so I love that there's like a diagnostic element to it, like you're seeing it, but also the technical element is fantastic. Yeah. And you did that, so that's a gap scheme run. This is outside zone right here. This is you. And like outside zone is what? They're all going to try and get their hat to your outside shoulder. It's really aggressive.
Yeah.
And this year, you talked about it earlier, you're trying to penetrate. You've been a little bit more aggressive with your first step. That can be really tough versus outside zone.
Yeah, no, definitely. I always want to get vertical, so you see him, he's jumping out of there really fast. Yeah. And it kind of can be good or bad for me. Like, I can either backdoor this and try to make a play, or I can fight with my outside arm and get my hips back over there. So right now I just started fighting.
And so the thing about it is that you're able to catch him with your outside hand.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times guys would just they'd see this and they just play backdoor. You catch it, you keep your gap integrity, and then you're able to control the block, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I just wanted to I like to use my hands because it helps me like get to the ball and feel things out and see things.
And are you trying to look right now, or are you just feeling? Are you playing the block, or are you playing the back here?
Right here, I'm playing the block, and I can see like he's trying to get across my face.
Yes.
So now I want to fight that and get back into my gap, because I'm supposed to have this gap right here, but I was getting vertical. So now I'm just fighting back.
Fighting back in the gap. And then if it plays lateral like it does here, that really helps you out, because like the back stays lateral, and obviously you get a good edge
Use
there.
momentum.
Throw them by, man. That's outstanding job. And like that, people don't understand, like there's so much. This is maybe one of my favorite plays that you had, and it's nothing crazy, right? Yeah. It's like, it's a draw, it's against the guard, and I feel like you started this off knowing that it was a draw.
No, definitely in the red zone. That's like something that we schemed that they like to do Q draw in the red zone. So I kind of went into it knowing that
you're playing the percentages, right?
Yeah,
you're gambling a little bit.
Yeah, I knew that they was going to do Q draw, and then once I came off the ball, I got the look I was looking for. Yeah. So we taught to just squeeze it all down.
Yep.
So I just tried to close this gap off down and force them to me.
Yeah, and because you're dictating where the quarterback has to go by manipulating guard. Love that, man. Now let's talk about the fun stuff, right?
Yep.
Everyone talks about. I think. Do you enjoy getting sacks?
I love getting.
Everyone loves getting sacks because it gets you paid, man.
Yeah.
Gets you paid. Let's just put big bags all over the screen, because that's what just happened, right? So this is you right here, and you said some interesting stuff about this. You're in this overload, right?
Yeah.
With the overload to the side of the center, right? If you draw a line down the center. So why are you guys doing that?
To get one-on-ones on guards that we think aren't aren't the best guards.
And we don't think 67 is very good.
Yeah,
do we?
no knock on him. We just
I'll knock.
we just thought he would be somebody that we could take advantage of.
Yep.
And so I asked JA to come over here to so that we could load this up.
Yep, shade to the side so the center can't help him out, right?
Yeah, and now I can do whatever I want to now. So
and the other thing I noticed is you're lined up really wide here. Are you trying to get him to widen to you?
yeah, I just like to use my my first step to
Yep.
like get some ground so I can get this inside to clear out as much as I can.
Yeah, because look,
to make my move.
because if you guys at home, he's got to widen to this guy. You're ensuring this beautiful run lane in here, and you
Yeah.
can beat him inside.
And I just got to go hard.
And I love the hands, right? The
Yeah.
hands is something you've been working on. That looks excellent there. What's that move you got there?
That was just a swipe, man.
Yeah.
I swiped him, tried to use his momentum and cleared it.
Excellent. Then this is the hard part, right? People don't understand. This
Yeah, you
is
gotta
like,
finish.
This
That's
is kind of
hard.
the easy part, right? But you got to finish this thing. And what are you thinking right now?
Probably because you see, like I started on this line right
Yeah.
here, but to make my move, I had to get all the way over here.
Yeah.
So now once I get past him, it's all about leaning back and getting back.
Leaning and digging into that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And then that's a great job finishing. And you did that really well throughout the year, right? I mean, pretty much on all of your sacks. This one, I know you don't get a sack, right? But I love the rush, man, right here. You're on this guard. This is one of the best guards in the NFL.
Yeah.
Again, the swipe, kind of that outside swipe, which is something that obviously you're pretty good at. What do you think?
I like making inside moves, but right here, I knew it would probably be hard to make an inside move because I got the center right there waiting on me to counter inside.
Yep.
So I was just thinking, get his hands off me and work outside. And on that rep right there, it worked.
And you just got it done. And I love, again, the hips. And then, like, we got to show this one because this is the one that, again, you get up, you saying, I'm going to get paid. And you just told me you weren't in the right gap.
Yeah.
What's going on with that, man?
Now, like right here, we got a, I think.
You got a little pressure.
Yeah, we got a little, we got a little outside
I
pressure.
got you, yeah.
I can go
Wherever you
across,
want.
but I'm really supposed to hit this
Yeah, but you go
gap
over
right here. But I felt them coming at me a little strong, so I just kept on wiping, using my hands. And
you like that
like I
wiper.
said at the end, get past them, got to lean back into it. to make
Finish,
a play.
and then I think this is the one where you're saying I got to get paid, and like look at us today, man. Talking about you making that money. I just want to say
Finally.
congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.
It's so fun. Thanks for taking the time. Really appreciate it,
I
brother.
appreciate y'all.
A quick programming note, at the end of the month, Command Center will be leaving NBC Sports Washington. But don't worry, it does not mean the show is coming to an end. We will continue to deliver you fans the best content involving your favorite team. You can watch new episodes of Command Center each week on the team's website and YouTube channel. And coming up, well, it's been a busy start to the offseason for Ron Rivera in the Commanders. And with free agency set to kick off later this week, we see what players might be a good fit here in Washington. And get ahead of the game and secure your luxury suite for the 2023 season. Experience the excitement of a Commanders game from the climate-controlled comfort and privacy of a luxury suite. Enjoy gourmet catering options, VIP parking, and more for you and your guests. Learn more and place your suite deposit for the 2023 season at commanders.com/suites. Welcome back to Command Center. The start of the 2023 offseason has already been busy for the Commanders. The addition of offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, and now the re-signing of Pro Bowler Daron Payne. And after 2 straight seasons of missing the playoffs, so head coach Ron Rivera knows the importance of being aggressive this offseason.
The biggest thing, more than anything else, is we're taking a long look at free agency and what we could potentially do in free agency to help ourselves. I know we talked about our own guys that we want to get done specifically now. And see if we can, get those things. The sooner you get those things done, the more positions you can fill in free agency. It takes a lot of pressure off of the draft in terms of what you need to do, what you have to do, what you must do, as much as to the point where you get to what you want to do. That's probably the most important thing. So if we can fill some of those spots coming up, once we get into March and get into free agency, we'll see what happens.
Time now for our delivery of the week presented by Paisanos. Order online at paisanospizza.com. So here's a look at the top free agents according to NFL.com. The top 4 players on the list have Super Bowl experience, playing in either Philadelphia or Kansas City last season. And a little bit of an interesting note that despite missing all last season with an ACL injury, wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. comes in at number 9 on the list. Goes to show what happens when you put forth a good body of work the majority of your career. So we're going to play a little game of fit or no fit, where I'm going to give you gentlemen a name in free agency. You tell me whether or not he could be a good fit here in Washington for this team, okay? Look, I want to start with the offensive lineman
Okay.
because we know that is a glaring need on this team. And the top offensive lineman would be Brown. He has ties to the Commanders with having experience with offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, had him in Kansas City. Fit or no fit?
So I think it kind of depends on what Eric Bieniemy wants to do. There's been all this talk about running the ball first, and while Orlando Brown is an excellent pass protector, he struggles a little bit as a down-to-down run blocking player. So I do think you want good football players. I think he's an excellent football player, but does he kind of fit this run-first identity? I'm not entirely sure, so I'm going to say no fit.
That's a good one.
How about I go to a skill position group, Santana? Odell Beckham Jr., look, he did not play all of last year. Last time we saw him was in Super Bowl 56, helping the Rams get the Lombardi Trophy. Fit or no fit?
I will be stupid if I say he doesn't fit, honestly.
Because you want good players, man.
He's a great player, great talent. I think we're 2 years too late. You know what I mean? I think when it comes down to what he can do for any team, I think he's a fit anywhere. But I don't think we need receivers. We have 3 solid ones. You got Samuels, you got Terry, you got Jahan. So I would say no fit.
Okay, and let me go to the linebacker, another unit that needs some help. Bobby Wagner, huge name out there. Do you like it?
I mean, obviously you love Bobby Wagner. He's been the most significant middle linebacker in the last 10 years of the NFL, but I think a guy like TJ Edwards would probably be a better fit here just because of the age. He's 25, 26 years old. That seems like the right thing.
If you ask me that, I'm saying fit. Wagner, you can never go wrong with a Wagner on your team. I feel like this, just the leadership alone would make us that much better.
I agree.
All right, and then just give me the answer for this one. James Bradbury, fit or no fit? I mean, look,
fit.
Coach knows him from Carolina.
100% fit.
Yeah.
Fit.
I just hope the James Bradbury that I saw last year, he'll be a fit.
Yeah,
A couple
definitely
years
would.
ago, yeah.
Another area of need, but that's just us saying it, not the front office. Thanks for joining us here on this Command Center. We'll see you next time.